Hey folks, and welcome to the latest video in the Rhapsody Power Pack series. I'm Andy Lapping, and in this video I'll show you a really powerful way to visualize the model using paths. In the last two videos we saw the model visualizer in two predefined modes, visualizing the structure or the references of model elements. But you can define your own visualizations by defining a path through the model that you describe using a pattern matching language, very similar to the context pattern language Rhapsody uses. Let's see how it works. The starting point is a visualization, which we saw in the first video. For a structural visualization, this defines the scope and the filters. When we use paths, this defines the starting point for the path. Let's have this one start at the structure package. The path is then defined in a property on the visualization, which we can write manually or using a helper. Let's start manually. Let's say we want to visualize blocks and their operations. Now we can run the model visualizer using PowerPack, model visualizer, visualize path. And just like that, we can see those model elements. Now let's modify that path, but instead of writing it manually, I'll use this helper, PowerPack Edit Path. As you can see, it's a very similar editor to the one we used to edit context patterns in an earlier video. Let's start by modifying this operation row. I'll click the drag bar to select it, and then click Open MetaClass Token Picker, where we can select multiple elements. Now we already have operations, so let's filter that list and we'll select attribute as well. Now I can apply that pattern and launch the model visualizer later, or I can simply click Visualize Path, which will apply the new pattern to the property and launch the model visualizer straight away, which is great for testing the pattern as I build it. There we now have operations and attributes. Let's add an additional meta class to that token. So in addition to operations and attributes, let's add flow ports into the visualization. Now we can check the type of those elements. Let's add another row to our pattern, and instead of choosing meta class, we'll choose relation. Now there are various options to choose from. In this case, we're going to select type. Now we can see the type of the attributes and the flow ports, some of which are typed by blocks. So let's add another row where we can visualize the attributes of those blocks. Now these path patterns support concepts that Rhapsody context patterns don't. For example, I can skip or hide a step in the path. Let's say we don't care about the type of the flow port, only its content. To hide that part of the graph, I'll simply clear the capture checkbox for that row. Now the graph shows the attributes of the blocks as if they were attributes of the flow ports. We've hidden that part of the graph. It also supports negation. For example, let's capture type again, but we'll negate the second token, that is, show only elements under the blocks that are not attributes, flow ports, or operations. Now we can see that there are event receptions typed by events, and there are also objects typed by blocks. We can apply constraints of various types. For example, we could filter on stereotype, on owner, and so on. Let's say we want to filter this row by name. Now this is a regular expression field, so I'll add one that applies a filter to include only elements whose names start with either an upper or lowercase h. There our graph is filtered down quite a bit more. So this is a really powerful visualization mechanism that allows you to create a focused view on a specific aspect of the model, cutting through the noise of large, complex models. One last thing, if I open the PowerPack Help, and in there I'll navigate to the model visualizer, underneath that section there is a page dedicated to paths, including a detailed guide to that path language, along with some examples. Well, that's it for this video. Over the course of the series, we'll explore the rest of the Rhapsody Power Pack features that will greatly improve your Rhapsody user experience. So please do subscribe if you want to be notified as those videos get published. But for now, thanks for watching.